Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we break down the secrets hidden within corporate filings. Today we're diving into a particularly interesting report from Inflection Acquisition Corp. V, get ready because this filing has some name changes and shareholder votes that might just surprise you. And hey, if you love getting these no fluff breakdowns, make sure you've hit that subscribe button already and also join our Discord community linked in the description below. So what is this filing all about? It's what's called a Form 8K, which basically means it's a report of big events that a public company has to tell the US Securities and Exchange Commission about. Think of it as a public announcement of something significant happening. In this case, the earliest event reported is the 19th of November 2025. Now the company we're looking at today is Inflection Acquisition Corp V, but here is a little twist: they used to be known as something else. Their former name was Maywood Acquisition Corp, and this report details a change. It sounds like they've undergone a transformation, and we're going to see what that entails. So on the 19th of November 2025, the company held a special meeting for its shareholders. The big news is that shareholders approved changing the company's name. They went from Maywood Acquisition Corp to Inflection Acquisition Corp V. This kind of name change often happens for a few reasons, maybe a rebrand, a new strategy, or perhaps it's tied to a merger or acquisition they are planning. Essentially, they are signaling a new chapter. Along with the name change, they also approved an update to their official company documents. Think of these as the company's constitution or bylaws. This amendment was needed to reflect the new name. It basically says, okay, we're changing our name, so let's make sure all our official papers match. Now let's talk about the shareholder vote for this name change. This number here, 10,769,525, shows how many votes were cast in favor of the name change. What's really interesting is that there were 0 votes against it and 0 abstentions. This means it was a unanimous decision by the shareholders present and voting, which indicates strong support for this move. Then we look at the vote for updating the company's articles of association. Again, a very high number of votes were cast in favor with 9150691. It's worth noting here that there were broker non-votes. These happen when a broker holding shares on behalf of a client does not receive voting instructions from the client. So while the overwhelming majority supported the change, there were a significant number of shares that did not have a specific vote attached. Still, the approval indicates shareholders are on board with the company's revised structure. While this specific filing doesn't delve deep into financial tables showing revenue or profits, it is important to understand what kind of company Inflection Acquisition Corp. V is these companies often go by the name Special Purpose Acquisition Companies or SPACs. They are created with the sole purpose of raising capital through an IPO to acquire an existing company. So their financial health isn't about their current operations, but their ability to find and fund a merger target. Often you'll see listings for things like shares and the currency used in their transactions. Here we see US dollars USD and the unit is shares. This tells us they are operating within the US financial system and their core business revolves around equity. Now let's quickly look at the securities they have registered. They have something called units, each consisting of one Class A ordinary share and one right. These are traded under the symbol MIO on the Nasdaq stock market LLC. They also have Class A ordinary shares par value 0.0001 per S-share. These are traded under the ticker MIO also on Nasdaq. And finally, they have rights. These rights entitle the holder to receive a fraction of a share upon the company completing its initial business combination. These are traded under the symbol MIO on Nasdaq as well. This structure with shares and rights is very typical for SPACs as they prepare to find a target company. One more detail here is that the company checks the box indicating it is an emerging growth company. This means they are a relatively new public company and are allowed to follow some relaxed reporting rules under US securities law. They are also indicating they will not use the extended transition period for new or revised financial accounting standards. This means they want to adopt new accounting rules. When they do this, it signals a forward-looking approach and a desire to maintain up-to-date financial reporting. So what is the story here? Inflection Acquisition Corp. V, formerly Maywood Acquisition Corp, has successfully rebranded and updated its foundational documents with overwhelming shareholder support. This is a clear signal that the company is moving forward with its strategic objectives under its new identity. As a SPAC, their primary goal is to find a business to merge with. And in this case, the clean vote suggests their shareholders are confident in the management team's direction. However, the success of this company will ultimately depend on the quality of the merger target they select, not just on their name change. Now, looking at these numbers more broadly, the unanimous approval on the name change proposal, despite no explicit mention of financials in this particular filing, shows strong shareholder confidence in the current leadership and their chosen direction. The slight difference in votes for the Articles Amendment proposal with a higher number of broken non votes might simply reflect the nature of share ownership, where not every shareholder actively votes on every procedural matter. On the other hand, the fact that they are an emerging growth company and are not opting for extended transitions on accounting standards implies a proactive stance in financial reporting, which is generally a positive sign for transparency as they look to potentially execute a merger. In conclusion, Inflection Point Acquisition Corp. Versus recent filing marks a significant step in its evolution as a SPAC. The name change and updated articles of association signify a fresh start and potentially a new strategic phase. The strong shareholder approval is a positive indicator of alignment and confidence. The main risk moving forward is always the execution of the business combination itself, the ability to find a suitable target and successfully merge. If they can find a strong, viable business to bring public, this rebranding could be the first step towards significant future growth. Alright, that's our breakdown of Inflection Point Acquisition Corp vs latest filing. What's your take on these name changes and what they might signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord community in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.